Welcome to Crown Club and your first module. It is December 1st, and this month we are focusing on Ariel from The Little Mermaid with self-expression and risk-taking. I am super grateful that you're here. I'm so excited. I forgot that I have this. This is the vibe for today. What is it? I'm not a guppy. I'm not a scaredy cat. I can take risks. I can express myself. For each month, I want to start off with just kind of a recalibration, recentering, really setting an intention on why you're here. We're going to do an overview of the movie, what lessons it can bring you, and think about how to apply these to your own life. Maybe have some aha moments and some realizations and aha moments along the way. These moments, an aha moment is when you recognize a truth about yourself. And then have some questions at the end for you to be able to journal about and think about, as well as a few little signs from the universe that can help you along the way. So I'd love to pull a card first. And while we do that, this is from a deck that I'm making, just reminding that the group coaching night is on the last Friday of the month. And that all of our group coaching night members get a few oracle cards for a special deck that we're creating just for Crown Club. While we're pulling cards, let's take 3 deep breaths together, in through the nose. And out. 2 more, in and out. And last one, in and out. Just letting your breath return to regular pattern. And the card that we're going to pull today is the shadow card. What we're gonna bring attention to is when you cast light upon a shadow, it's not so scary anymore. And sometimes when we're in the depths of the ocean, that what we think we're afraid of is the darkness, but what we're really afraid of is what's in the darkness. So when you bring light to it, it's not so scary anymore. And that's what we're gonna do here with Crown Club. So thinking about The Little Mermaid, and I love that we're starting off with this. This personally was a very pivotal movie for me. This was the only movie that this was the first movie I went and saw in the movie theater. And I remember looking it up with my dad when we went to, and part of that experience, I love that she's a ginger. But this is the tape and the soundtrack that I would play over and over again every single night. And it's, when you really start to pick it apart, how much of this is truly ingrained into who we are, and kind of these reflections and patterns that are showing up in our adulthood from this children's cartoon with that Disney princess effect. So bringing into the awareness of Ariel and for her self-expression and risk-taking, it's really important to realize that the creators of the movie deliberately made her very different. She's different from her sisters. Her hair, she's the only ginger of the family. Her seashells are different. Disney created that color specifically for her tail. None of her other sisters had it. She is very different from her family. And she is so curious and longs for freedom and is a collector of things and really seeks true adventure, and feeling really trapped and not being able to express who she is because she's trapped in the cycle of showing up for who she thinks she should be, as that youngest daughter, as that princess, as Triton's daughter, for what it truly is. And that she really didn't see, really to her core of who she was, she didn't really see anything different from her as being wrong. She was really accepting of the fish and the crabs around her and very, listening to them. It really seemed like she took in everybody's viewpoint, even if she didn't agree with it. But the world that everybody else feared, the world that everybody else was conditioned to fear, was curious for her. She wanted to know why. She wanted to explore that shadow. She wanted to explore what was so evil and bad about it. Why? She just, because all the evidence that she had was that it wasn't all that bad. That was actually quite beautiful. And that there were these questions that she had and answers that she wanted to know. So much so that she collected all this information that she had and then she hid it away. She didn't want her family to know She didn't want anybody else to know. The only person that she really trusted was her best friend, who was also extremely fear-based. She had to be different than everybody else. Not that she had to be, but she chose to be. And there was a part of her that hid that all away for the comfort of other people, for her to still be accepted by her family, by her kingdom, by the traditions and the rules and the culture that surrounded her, that she really needed to hide that part of herself. And in the movie, what she did she was just so drawn to something that felt so important to her soul that she was willing to bargain a very externally valued asset, something that was internal to her, like who she was very externally, not who she was, what sound she could produce was very, very valued by the external world that she had been accepted to. And she bargained that for an external result for her own internal peace and contentment. And I think that growing up, what we saw was that she was maybe young and selfish and naive, and that she made like this deal with the devil that witches are bad. They can give you what they want, but that there's consequence to it, and there's repercussions to our actions, and it's just not affecting us, it's affecting others. And there's all this like really negative surrounding for it. But I want to see us and see her and see us in her from this different perspective of her being truly goal-oriented. She didn't give a shit what the consequence was, because she knew that it was something that was just so important in her heart that she was willing to bet, bargain, sacrifice to someone else to get her end result. And seeing that from maybe an unhealed or a fear-based or a scarcity-based viewpoint is really seeing it from that way of, well, you have to sacrifice who you are to get what you want. You have to give up something that's truly beautiful, and it usually comes with a mess with the family if you do want something for that. So it's like, where have you truly embodied having to sacrifice something about yourself, who you are, for your family's sake? And really was thinking about it. I haven't been able to stop thinking about this since this like idea that really The Little Mermaid is this incredible metaphor for manifestation, and how like Ariel in her Little Mermaid form, this is like her ego self. This is her reality. This is who we all are right now. What she pined and longed for, her higher self, what she knew her truer higher calling was, or maybe could be, or what she wanted it to be, what her desire was that human self. She wanted to experience the human world. She wanted, that's like, what's fire and she wanted to experience light. And to be able to see it from this incredible viewpoint, like that is her highest self. That is her desire. That is her truest manifestation. And then we have these different characters along the way to represent other things. Triton is this incredible inner parent who wants us to be safe and to belong and follow the rules and be controlled and be expected. And I want to say delayed, but it's like it's the sacrifice of her own happiness for the comfort of everybody else, for the comfort of the kingdom, for the comfort of her family. Like for that, knowing we're just talking about the first movie, not any of the other ones. But then really how Sebastian is almost like her subconscious, that he's the one that's kind of always beacon in the background, that for her to stay safe, for her to stay inside her comfort zone, for her to stay with her family, to listen to her father, to listen to those who know what could go wrong, what could be bad, what is fear-based. He's a subconscious of being able to like to stay where she is, because if she just stayed there, she could realize how good it actually was. But then knowing that even with his, if Sebastian represents the subconscious, that when the subconscious sees how there is happiness and how there is true alignment, that they can also get behind to support that as well. Right? So it's like you have this unhealed and healed version of everything also in the movie. I think Ursula, I've been really thinking about this, and I love this perspective, and in my heart of hearts, I feel it's true, that I don't think Ursula is actually the bad guy. I don't. I think that Ursula is what could be applied into our own lives as kind of one of those tests to the universe. Like, do you actually want it? What are you willing to do to get it? Are you willing to go either against your morals to get what it is you want? Or do you know that when you tap into your darkness and your abilities, that you can create the desire that you want? Because I think the true villain and the obstacle within the movie is actually Triton. Because when you look at it, Ariel wasn't afraid of anything. She wasn't afraid of the shark. Like, she got away from it, but like, she never exhibited fear. Flounder did with it, but she wasn't afraid of it. She wasn't afraid to go to Ursula. She had like a slight hesitation, but not even a full breath before signing her voice away. She wasn't afraid to go up. She wasn't afraid to go on the ship. She wasn't afraid to go on the shore. She wasn't afraid to do what she needed to do to have that experience, especially when she knew, when she saw that soulmate and saw that lover, like in Eric, that it's like, regardless, consequences be damned, she wasn't afraid anymore because she knew that was her path. She knew that that was her calling, and she probably knew that that was the reason. Oh God, I'm just getting my own lessons here. That this is the reason why she's being called to that world. She's being called to the world to like meet that and experience that and do so much good when she's there. But really, the only thing that she did fear was Triton's reaction. She didn't fear Triton himself. I think there's great love and respect there. Like, she obviously loved him very much and he loved her. She wanted to keep him safe. Or he wanted to keep her safe. There was a part of her that wanted to keep him safe, which is why she kept things hidden. Like, they both think they're doing the best for each other. But it's his reaction that she's afraid of. It's his reaction that she's hiding from. It's his reaction that she feels like she has to do things like she has to hide for that. And then just thinking about that in your own life, about the obstacles, or is there one or two, like with your parents, that you're hiding from having that self-expression and your true authenticity, and not showing the risk you're taking, or not talking about the risk you're taking, because they're not being supported by that person. Triton didn't support Ariel's dream at all whatsoever. In fact, he squashed it, dead like a bug, burnt it all to the ground, literally and figuratively, because he didn't physically support her, and he didn't emotionally support her, and he didn't mentally support her at all. He would rather her be safe and miserable for his own comfort versus her go against his triggers and bring up with his shit, but have her be happy. So it's when you look at Ursula, who is going to give her everything she wants, and Triton, who wants to not have anything that she wants, knowing that Ursula's intention was to manipulate a situation, get an end result, and to really only serve her, not Ariel, versus Triton's intention of wanting to serve Ariel and himself. That is like, even though the actions and the intentions aligned, that it's like, who's right? Who is more helpful? Who actually got Ariel what she wanted? Knowing that at the end, spoiler alert, Triton had the power to give her what she wanted all along. He's the one that gave her permission at the end. He's the obstacle she had to overcome, because she had to show him how important this was to her, how happy it made her, for him to finally accept it, for him to finally give her the permission slip. It's making me emotional. the permission slip to live her true dream life. And he gave it to her. And he did so at the end out of love. So like, what's the villain? Right? It's like being able to see it from that totally different side. We were fed as children that Ursula is the villain because she manipulated Ariel to get to what she wanted. But Ariel got what she wanted in the end. So is that really bad, or is that just a life experience? Versus, can we look at it as the obstacle that is to be overcome, the repeating pattern, the limiting belief, actually being the parental permission that Ariel's looking for to live her true dream life? She was willing to sacrifice all of it. She didn't even say goodbye before she went to the Sea Witch to get that kind of information for it. And to get her to that result. Just really sitting and thinking about that. Even just for that minute. I think that the whole lesson behind Ariel and that Little Mermaid and how we can apply it to our own lives. So as we are Ariel, I can hear the chicken on the stairs. Okay, let's back up a little bit. Let's talk about our friends, the animal friends that come and ask for help, as my little animal friend is calling for help. Ariel knew what she wanted and where she was willing to go. And if she didn't, you know what's funny about all of her animal friends, about Scuttle and about Flounder and about Sebastian, is they all gave her a lot of grief. But she didn't really care. She still accepted their help. I don't think she even really asked for their help. They just knew they were all in it because she surrounded herself with people that, regardless of the mistakes that they made, regardless of how they truly felt about her dream, regardless of where they were going or what they were like or even what kind of animal they were all helping her. And she allowed it. It was just part of the adventure. It wasn't even a big deal to be able to have that. So just thinking for moments, if you're Ariel and you're the main character in your life, who's your Scuttle? And who's your Flounder? And who's your Sebastian? And do you have these people that are surrounding you that, even though that they're learning lessons through you along the way, that you're accepting and allowing their help that they're here and offering to give? And the help is often just support. It's funny because Sebastian, as much as he tried to derail her the most, was the most helpful in the end. And how incredibly powerful is that? And then looking at what the whole, that symbolism, I always just feel it's the throat chakra, having that voice as your self-expression. It's really asking yourself, where are you being silent to be able to keep other people comfortable or still have yourself be accepted? Or where are you being quiet to not take a risk? Because I think that that's actually the biggest thing. I think a lot of us have actually worked through the being quiet and the self-expression piece. But I think it's more where are you not saying what it is that you want out of the risk that you'll actually receive what it is you want because it feels too big, because it feels improbable, because it feels like only a witch could give it to you, because you feel like you have to sell a part of your soul, give up something that you love in order to receive it. So thinking of that even from that manifestation lineup for it, right? Where are we doing that? And I think the cure to having ourselves go silent to avoid taking a risk is curiosity. Because Ariel's curious. She's so curious. And the more she lets her curiosity lead, the more she grows, the more she actually takes steps to where she wants to go. And she gets what she wants in the end. So it's where can you, what are you curious about? Are you curious that if you allow yourself to be truly happy, even though it makes other people uncomfortable, where it could lead you? Are you curious about if you just explored this a little bit more, maybe did a little thing, maybe made a post, it's a little bit different from normal, where it might take you, what the result might be? Thinking this from like that joy-led place, then it's like, where can you fuel your curiosity and explore like this cave of treasures that you have that's within you? Like, what do you want to show people? Like, just think about it. That's like if Triton was fully supportive of Ariel and she'd be like, Dad, come into my cave and see what I found today. Like, that's like such incredible, it's incredible energy to be able to go through that, but to lead your life through that, knowing that we're all full-grown adults and like we're like adults now, right? Like, this isn't like we've all lived some life. That if you were, even you now, if you were to lead like that, look what I found today. Look what adventure I was on. Look what I saw, and then I found this word, and then it led me to this, and it led me to this. And now I have this new tote bag, which I feel like that orange sack that she carries all her treasures in are totally linked to like our obsessions with tote bags as adults now. And even like going to the flea market. And so like, oh, like corkscrews, like not something that's like in your usual wheelhouse, but from that movie, these collections of things really truly are. That's like where you can really embrace and show it who it is. So I would challenge you for this month at some time is to take one of your collections, post it on social media, or even share it in group chat or whatever. But like, hey, I've never shown you guys this before, but this is how I love this. I don't have to have a reason why, I just do. This makes me curious. This makes me happy. Like, and that curiosity follows that energy and it leads you to happiness. I truly, like, I really do believe that. Oh, isn't it just also wonderful? It's like, how could a world full of wonderful things be bad? And I think we get to choose to lead our whole month like that. I'm actually gonna write that down because that's a baller. And then I have some questions. So if you have a notebook, get it out, or you can print it off. I'll make a PDF for attachment for that, and we'll go from there. Wonderful things. Okay. That'll probably be our oracle card. So we're going to do that. So here's the questions to be able to ask yourself to journal about this month, or even be able to have conversation with in the next month. So applying the little Ariel and the Little Mermaid lesson to yourself, it's being to ask yourself, how do I express myself? How would I express my true authentic self? If time, money, judgment, reaction wasn't an issue, how would I truly express myself? And then you can journal that about, how does this feel? It's like, would I wear pink all the time? Would I wear more jewelry? Would I just wear sweats all the time? Like, how do you want to express yourself? Would you create more art? Would you write? Would you travel more? Would you not turn down your 90s rap music when you went to go pick up the kids from school? Like, how do you truly want to express yourself? Second question, do I keep a fascination hidden for the sake and comfort of others? So feel that in your heart. And then name it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do why. It's just naming what you actually do. Third question is, where am I looking for permission? Where are you looking for permission from Triton, whoever Triton is in your life, to be able to authentically be who you are and to take a risk regardless of the outcome or result? And then question number 4 is, what is the step that I can take towards my higher self right now? So Ariel's step was to sign a deal with Ursula. You can, maybe you need to make a deal with the witch. I don't know. It's like being able to really sit in yourself. And that could be something you ask yourself every day if you really want to move forward, or being able to something to ponder. It's like, what's a step I can take towards what my highest self is right now? If you were Ariel, what step would you take to get what you wanted? It's a good question, I think, is it not? Because when we're truly ourselves and our most, when we can accept who we are, and when we can get to a point where we can lead with kindness, but not always being nice, but being kind, about our truth and who we really are and what we like and what we believe in and what's important to us, when we can explore things that might feel different from other places, that the more confidence we can build behind that self-expression, the larger risks we can take. She was this extremely, like, if you took all the other shit out, she's this extremely confident young woman who has an incredible, powerful voice, who doesn't care who hears her. She sings for herself. She does things for herself. She knows exactly who she is and what she wants. Exactly. And then she doesn't make any decisions with any doubt. She just follows that true calling. And then those risks don't feel like risks to her. They're risks to Triton. But like, Ursula knew she was a good bet. So, just a different take on the Disney classic of The Little Mermaid. The signs we're going to be following this month are, if you are keeping your if your subconscious is trying to keep you safe or in a comfort zone, you're going to see a crab. You'll see a Sebastian. It doesn't have to be a red crab. It's just a crab. That's a sign that your subconscious is keeping you in that comfort zone and in that safety, which is amazing because that's its job. Just like Sebastian, that's their job. That's what they're designed to do. But it's not necessarily that's going to be what makes you happy. But if you see a clamshell with a pearl in it, then that's when you're truly aligned. When it's like a reward for truly expressing yourself. Because I love that metaphor of a pearl, is that it's actually really a grain of sand that gets in there. It's a complete irritation. That the pearl is created out of protection of itself. But that something beautiful is created from that something we actually all truly covet. It's like this gift. It's the shadow within the clam that becomes something beautiful, becomes something light. So you have this dark piece of sand inside of there, and something amazing is created from it that you can wear and be. It's been amazing. I'm so excited. Next month, we are discussing Elsa. And it's going to be self-acceptance and power. So over the next month for Ariel, just noticing where the lessons come up. It doesn't have to be a big deal. This is not about creating more problems. This is just about realigning to this like beautiful higher focus. If I am my most authentic self and expressing myself from like that authentic place, if I express myself from my authentic place, I have the energy to move forward in a way that doesn't feel like risk. If you are fully self-expressed, are there any risks? Probably not. Probably not. It's just authenticity, which is like the highest vibration that you can reach, this highest calibration. So taking a deep breath, let's do a little bit of Reiki. A little clamshell. Sending you just that little pearl of energy, that reminder that even your authenticity looks different. It's really a part of the collection of treasure. And it's really all of us in that collection that looks so great. Because if the collection were all the same, it wouldn't be as interesting. And it wouldn't be as fun. And it wouldn't be as coveted. And it might not even be something you enjoy as much. I hope you see the Little Mermaid in yourself. I hope you see the beautiful voice you have as Ariel. I hope you lay in the tub and let your long hair flow around you like the beautiful mermaid that you are. I hope that you are supported by the friends that are around you. And I hope that your curiosity takes you on this most beautiful adventure to your highest, most authentic self. I'm Megan, and we'll see you at the watch party.